got a 360 Dodge motor in it. Fuel injected throttle body. The 4-speed. About an 89 or 90 model. When I got it, all the electronics were cut off of it. And I was just going to discard the engine transmission in favor of a 454 Chevy that I already had. Well, a buddy of mine strongly suggested that I ought to at least see if that old 360 had run. And finally got it through my head that engine didn't know that it was an electronic motor. So, talked me into going and buying a points distributor. I dropped it down in there and stuck a battery in. Of course, it didn't have a wire harness of any kind. And I was able to twist some wires together and hook it up to a battery. And I already had the throttle body off of it. So. But it whirled over and got sparked. So I splashed some gas down the carburetor, down the intake, and the motor fired. So we set about figuring out a carburetor. Well, they changed the intake in such a way that a 2-barrel Mopar carburetor wouldn't fit the bolt pattern in the intakes. So got to looking around and remembered that the Motorcraft 2-barrel has got a much bigger bolt pattern, so that allowed me to be able to overlap the bolts. So I made an adapter out of a chunk of aluminum that I already had. Got a carburetor off of Amazon for really cheap. And bolted it all together. I wish I had been able to do a will it run on this thing, but unfortunately, I had already proven that it will run long before I started my YouTube journey. But there's pictures here. You can see the process of how I went about building it and the install. With a little bit of excessive persuasion, I even convinced the old throttle body air cleaner to fit on the imitation Motorcraft. So anyhow, that's where we got to with it. Of course, I was doing all of this out in the front lot in front of the building. There's how I paid for the parts I put into it to this point. Is I sold the original lock ring wheels and very dried out tires. Of course, all of this is in amongst distractions because we're right on the highway and you never know what's going to pull into my lot. This old boy was taking that thing there from, I think, California. He flew out from, I believe he told me, Michigan. In any case, it was about a 2-hour distraction. At least this old boy here in this little wagon didn't pull into the lot, but still a distraction nonetheless. I didn't get a picture of the tires that I took those wheels come off of, but if you look real close in a later video, you can see the tires have been changed. The wiring, I just got drugged through the dash and been able to twist 2 wires together and touch another one and start the old truck. But as you can see, it does in fact run. That was my dog's first and probably her last ride, but shortly after that she bailed out. You'll notice the scenery here is a little bit different. That's because the whole truck is not in Kansas anymore.
Nothing normal about this man.
Now, in my defense, my wife thought I was just being lazy, too lazy to walk down to the neighbors a couple hundred yards down the road. My story is the right rear tire needed a little air in it, and I want to drive it down to the compressor. The reason why the scenery's different in that last clip is because I've taken that old truck to Oklahoma, where we're planning to move to eventually, to keep people from pestering me about buying the thing. Sitting out in front of this shop, it was becoming harder and harder to not sell it, and I wasn't through playing with it yet. A little bit more background on what all we've done to that truck since I've had it is, master cylinder was junk. It had a single bowl or a single reservoir master cylinder. I upgraded the master cylinder to a dual bowl for a 69 Chevy 1-ton. That's a pretty common upgrade for those, unless you go with power brakes, which I haven't done yet. We put that on and let out the brakes and got at least the back brakes kind of working. When I got it, it did not have a drive shaft in the rear end, so I found a rear drive shaft out of a 3/4 ton long bed extended cab Dodge and cut, I think, 9.5 inches out of it. Glued it back together, and at least so I could drive it with the rear instead of the front wheels. But for now, I've still got the truck and it's on the back burner. It may come back up. We'll see. Like I say, I've taken it to Oklahoma, so I won't be distracted with it while I try to get this whole place in shape and get the little Betty the shop truck where I want it, and continue to clean this place up and hopefully get it sold and get a shop built in Oklahoma. In any case, thanks for watching if you've made it this far, and as always, like, subscribe, tell your friends if you found this at all entertaining. In any case, have a blessed day. Hope to see you again. Thank you.